Hello everyone, this is your professor, Will Blowers, here to give you some tips on how to create an online video advertisement that supports your marketing strategy. Let's get going. From YouTube vloggers to startups and even major corporations, producing a video advertisement is an effective way to broadcast your presence to a wide audience. In only 30 seconds, a skillfully executed spot can promote your business while supporting your overarching marketing objectives and strategies. These video ads will allow marketers to stimulate their target audience in ways that static advertisements simply can't. Before we get started, I want to introduce you to some resources that are available here at Bellevue College that you should definitely take advantage of. And they'll also help out with your projects, as well as introduce you to some free and paid tools that will help you succeed in this industry. Now, I just want to clarify, this is not a video production class, okay? We are much more interested in the marketing strategy behind your video than it just looking good, you know? Just be sure to focus on the purpose of the video and whether or not it aligns with the objectives and the strategies of your product, of your business, of your channel, and focus a little bit less on production quality at the beginning, all right? That said, there is professional video editing software such as Adobe Premiere, which is available at many Bellevue College computers that you could use. This and Apple's software called Final Cut or Final Cut Pro are industry standards for video production. All right, we don't expect you to be able to use these right off the bat. Each has its own benefits, but do take into consideration that there's a very steep learning curve for many of these video editing programs. So perhaps a free option that comes installed with computers, for example, iMovie for Macs and Windows Movie Maker for your PCs would be a better option. All right. There's also a free mobile application that you can get on your smartphones if you have them. It's called Splice. All right, Splice. If you prefer editing and recording on your smartphone. As for the recording device, there's tons of options, starting from even your phone. Most of them come with a camera and even the ability to edit photos right on your phone. And you can also record video using your smartphone, and be sure to record in horizontal, not vertical, for better quality videos, all right? And these will give you the ability to record here, but then you can record on a laptop or desktop computer if necessary. All right, so you can either record on your phone and edit it on your phone. You can record on your phone and edit on the software that I told you, like Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, or iMovie or Windows Movie Maker. All right. The other option is to invest in a higher quality camera, like a DSLR or a 4K camera. And these range at price points from several hundred to several thousand or even more dollars, depending on the quality that you're looking for. Okay. Common video outputs are AVI.AVI. These are extensions to file formats. MPEG-4, WMV, QuickTime. There's many others. All right. So it's really important to make sure that the video editing software that you're using is compatible with your camera's video output file format. Okay, some video editing programs don't accept certain file formats, and it's important that you have a file format that you can splice all of these videos, edit them, rearrange what you need using that software. Okay, so do your research before you start investing in anything, or even start recording, because you may have to go back and re-record, and we don't want you to do any of that, all right? Now, from a business angle, it's cheaper to produce and broadcast YouTube videos than it is for flashy television commercials that are slick. You can make these really well-produced videos for YouTube, but it's going to be much cheaper, and they're also not limited to the same time constraints as your standard television commercial. Now, this allows us to connect with our viewers in meaningful ways, through satire, through pulling their heartstrings, and really one of the most effective methods is provoking them into action, trying to convince them to follow through, to hit the subscribe button, to go to your website, to purchase something from your store. You name it. You want them to follow through and remember you after watching that advertisement. Your videos are also great opportunities at building brand awareness, as well as generating new customers. You need to keep in mind the following pieces of information and bits of advice that I have in order to avoid damaging your brand image and also to represent the best side of your business, and potentially, if you do it correctly, even become the next viral sensation. All right, my first bit of advice, keep it brief. The first 5 seconds are so clutch because oftentimes users are allowed to click through and skip the video after those first 5 seconds on YouTube. I'm sure that many of you have experience with that. Now, these online advertisements allow you the opportunity to tell the story of your channel, your business, or your product in more depth. So be careful what you want the narrative to be. Be sure to include a hook that keeps viewers' attention. And that's the last thing. The viewer's attention is the last thing you want to squander with an online video advertisement. Keep that in mind. That's my first bit of advice. Secondly, be careful with humor. I used to do improv comedy in college, and I've seen so many comedic bits just fall flat. I'm sure that you have seen many snafus with comedy and business through poorly done ads, not very tasteful ads. Now, these videos, they may become viral due to satire or through wittiness, and that's great. This strategy can be equally brilliant and disastrous. Now, as a storyteller, if humor comes to you naturally, take advantage of that. Use that skill in your advertisement, but wield that sword carefully. Just be sensitive. That's the most important thing. Be sensitive to your audience and how they perceive your advertisements, and be prepared to handle whatever may happen in the comments section if the ad doesn't go as planned. Third bit of advice, use concise language. Syntax matters. Oftentimes, marketers use industry language and buzzwords that just don't translate to their target audience. It happens all the time. Now, be sure to put things in layman's terms if necessary and unpack any acronyms in order to avoid any confusion. Clear, concise language is really important in advertisements. Fourth, give your viewers the experience of using your product. Put them in the driver's seat and show them, instead of telling them, the benefits of what you are trying to sell. Show them, don't tell them. That's huge in advertising, all right? By giving your audience the ability to project themselves into what they're experiencing, which is your product, they're going to have a much more positive reaction to your brand. That goes a really, really long way in getting them to follow through with the subscription or following through with that action that I told you about in the previous step and actually purchasing and investing in what you are trying to sell. And most importantly, be honest. Be authentic with what you're trying to provide the customer. All right? Be real, be relatable, and be reliable. And you need to espouse that through your advertisements and through your products. Don't try to sell something that isn't an honest reflection of what you're trying to convey. All right? Be authentic. My fifth and last bit of advice is to recognize the limitations of video advertisements. Similar to how, let's say, a good television show needs a solid cast. They need a, well-written script. Your video advertisement is only as good as the product or service that you are trying to sell. Okay? Remember, this is a business class. It's a marketing class, but I want to emphasize the importance of these business strategies while you create advertisements and learn about advertising online with video and YouTube. All right? Produce the video to demonstrate the value of what you're trying to sell, but don't assume that it's going to succeed on production value alone. Just keep in mind that we are more interested in the video supporting a purpose and aligning it with your marketing objectives and strategies. That'll get you full credit on this assignment and will get you on the path to succeeding in video advertisements. And if all else fails, I hear the internet loves cats, and I do too.